Hey y'all, hey, it is Shelly here and welcome to my channel. If you are returning, I appreciate you. Y'all, so I did it. I made a garment. And if you saw my last video, you already know what garment it is. Plus, you know, the title gives it away. So I made Simplicity 9554, which is a unisex shirt that comes in two lengths. And as you can see there, you have the shorter version and the longer version. And so I added a few inches to mine and made it a dress. And it came out really good, y'all. So good that I may or may not have worn it 2 or 3 times already since I made it. But don't judge me. Keep your judgment. Keep it over there. Yeah, y'all, I was proud of my little dress, so I had to show off my skills. I even got compliments on the dress, you know, and that even boosted my head up a lot more. One of my friends actually asked where did I get the dress from, and so I was so happy to tell her, you know, girl, I made it. But anyway, I want to give you guys a quick review of the pattern, show you the fabric I used, as well as some pictures. So without further ado, let's jump on in. So as I've already said, it is Simplicity 9554. Don't mind the number up there, that's just the display number. It comes in 2 lengths. And so when I cut it, it's already oversized, so I wanted it more of a dress, and I wanted to have just a little bit of a fit. Based off of the measurements, I am an extra small, but like I said, the length, I wanted to make it a dress, so I cut the width in an extra small and the length in a small, and I did add 2 inches to the bottom of the front and the back. And it already had that high-low effect, so I just left it as is. And as far as the fabric goes, I use this. This is a linen that I got from Joann. It is just super pretty. I absolutely love this color. It wasn't on sale. There was another color that was actually half price. But of course, I like what I like, and so I got this one. I only needed about, let me see, I only needed about 2 yards to make this dress in my size, but because I wanted to add that extra length, I got an extra, I think this is an extra yard. I don't know, whatever it is, but I got extra, and I may or may not go back and get some more and make a matching shirt for my husband. Don't tell him, but it's coming. It's coming. So that's the fabric, and it took me about, I don't even know, y'all, because I made the shirt over 2 days. But if I had to calculate how long it took me to make it, I would say maybe 6 or 7 hours. Yes, it's a long time. I am a slow sewist. Plus this was my first time making a garment, so hopefully it doesn't take me that long next time, because I will be making this again. So now let's get into the struggles. And I wouldn't call them struggles so much, but it was maybe kind of newer techniques for me, or things that I wasn't sure about as I was making the dress. And so there was a few issues I had with the fabric, and I believe it came from the pins, because there was like snags on my dress once I finished it, and I'm just assuming that came from the pins. Maybe not. If y'all know, let me know, so that I don't encounter that again. You really can't tell, only I can tell, right? Because I am examining the garment with a fine-tooth comb, but nobody else can tell. So as far as new techniques, obviously there were a few, but one I wanted to mention was the Burrito Method. And so I appreciate, while I appreciate why it was done, but I must say, while I was working it out, it didn't make sense. It did not make sense at all. So here is the dress, and this is the back, right? This is the exterior back, and this is the interior. And so as you can see, there are no exposed seams. All of the raw seams are inside the garment. And so in order to do that, I don't remember exactly, but you had to kind of sandwich the yolks and the back piece, but you had to like roll it up so that you can sew across it. So that's why it's called the Burrito Method. And like I said, when I was doing it, it didn't make sense, and I was like, why am I doing this? But I really appreciate that there are no raw edges on the inside. It just gives it kind of a better feel when it's on your back. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, the challenge. There was a challenge, a pretty big challenge. And I say it's a challenge because I did it wrong, and I don't know how I did it wrong. However, my outcome, I got the desired outcome. So as far as the collar band goes, when you sew it down, you're supposed to kind of fold it over and, you know, cuff it to do your top stitch. I did that, and I folded it over, and when I folded it over, it was on the outside of the garment. And I only realized I did it wrong as I was reading through the instructions. And y'all, I don't know how I did it wrong, where I did it wrong. I was following the instructions to a T. But when I got to this part and I realized I messed up, y'all, I had to go to YouTube University. I had to pull up the sew along that Norris did, and from what I could tell, I did everything he did, but somehow this ended up on the outside. But you really can't tell, because once you do the top stitch, nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. I know. Plus, so on the inside it's a little janky, but nobody's gonna see it. And so, all right. And one change that I did make to another change that I made to the pattern were the armholes. So in the pattern, as you can see, the armholes are kind of just left raw, just left, you know, as is. I wasn't really a fan of that. I wanted more of a finished look on my armholes. So I just, honestly, there's already a pattern piece for the armhole. I just took it and I folded it. I just took it and kind of made a binding and folded it over and covered that exposed edge. And so I really like how it turned out. I will definitely be doing that every time I make this shirt. So, you know, here's the shirt. I added my little tag that I sometimes put in my bags. And y'all, the pocket was huge. I took about 1 inch off both sides, but when I make it again, I'm gonna make it even smaller, because I feel like it is really big. It is a huge pocket. So that is my review of Simplicity 9554. I really enjoyed making this dress. I'm really glad I chose this as the first pattern to sew. If you've sewn it, let me know what fabric you used. Like I said, I used linen, and I want to do it in linen again, maybe like a white or a brown. But I'm curious as to what other fabrics you guys have used. And if you have any suggestions on any of the many questions I asked during this video, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section. And if you made it this far, I appreciate you. I must say I've been overwhelmed with support and comments and likes I've gotten on my videos in this short amount of time, and all the suggestions that you guys have been giving me. I really appreciate it. So stick around, stay with me on this journey, because there will be a lot more garments coming from me. So until next time, y'all, be blessed.